Hello, Internet, and welcome back to Space Engineers. So, as I'm sure you saw in that lovely intro cinematic, some things are different. So, first off, our porch is fixed, has a lovely new hole. If I go, well, actually, first, we can look this way. You can just see we now have 4 hydrogen tanks that are mostly full of hydrogen. We have a little turret up there twitching about. More on that soon. And the big thing from the intro cinematic, the scrap metal's gone. So that sort of stick up there is all that's left. And the only reason it exists is because it's got those nice batteries, which I'm going to repurpose into our pirate ship. But before we do that, let's go on a little tour. So, while I was grinding that thing down, I had to leave the blue buzzy a couple times so it could charge up. And I did things like this. So we now have a fully decked out and set up assembler and refinery with some modules and whatnot. All the pipes are snaking around awkwardly. May fix those a bit in the future. If we go over here, you can see we've done a little bit of painting inside. Our med bay is in here now. And if I pop my hood on, haha, it's all piped up and working. If we go this away, so we're heading towards the garage. You can see our tanks over there, sitting nice and proud. See our turret up there. And if I look to my right, we've got a little landing pad for our ships. So, yeah. Go in here. The Rambler is all piped up. That's piping to the turret. There are currently 3 turrets on the roof of the main building. The 4th will go where the stick currently is. But yeah. The base is actually pretty darn near done. If we fly, it's quicker. So, yeah, things are coming along nicely. And because the scrap metal was so absurdly massive, I actually probably have enough stuff left over. I could finish the base, decorate it all out and be happy with it, build a little hydrogen-powered ship that I can shoot off into the sunset, and I could just leave Mars and be done. Move on to the next place. We are set to do that if we wished. But I'm not gonna. I said I was gonna pirate, and by Joe, I'm gonna pirate. So, that brings us to what we're doing today. So I've got this stick of batteries. The main reason I saved it was so that I could use it for the new pirate ship. And I'm not 100% sure how to get it down. So, as noble as the Blue Buzzy is up there, I don't think it has enough power to lift it. I mean, even if I chopped it off right here and just left the batteries, I feel like it would struggle to maintain altitude. And after the fiasco of dropping thrusters onto the porch, I don't really want to just send these barreling down into the roof of the base. So, yeah. I could try, maybe the miner has enough lift, or maybe like 2 of them together would have enough to kind of keep it balanced. Although, I guess I don't need to, I could just build it up here, or at least start it up here. I don't need to move these things too much. I would like to maybe move this in line with these, but that I could do separately. Maybe that's the way. We'll just build our thing up here. Sure. When we... Can we... Yes, we can access that tube for tube access needs. I think that should work out alright. Is this... Oh, this is a cargo container, too. So that could be handy to have. It's obviously not piped anymore. And I don't think I want it this low. So my idea for the new ship, I guess... I need some more steel. We can start laying it out up here. So my sort of design idea is to have something that looks a bit like a submarine. Just seems fun, like a fun shape to build. So it'll be kind of a long cigar looking thing. And I think, so if I want to put the battery there, how to do this? My idea is to have all the thrusters kind of hidden inside the body. Not obstructed, per se, and not doing any of the tricks to avoid thruster damage by sticking them inside with enough room. But just kind of, sort of like with the fighter down there, I kind of want to cover everything to give it a layer of armor just for that added little bit of protection. So, how best to do that? Actually, maybe... So the batteries should probably be in the back. So maybe we'll leave this room. we will put our big lifting thruster there. Yeah. So, dang, do I want it kind of like that being flush? Well, maybe I just make it 2 blocks tall in the middle. That'll work, and then I can fit stuff and work my way around it. So then I can kind of have a cover over this top a little better. Yeah. Okay. So let's start doing. Actually, it doesn't need to go out that far. So maybe we'll start kind of bring things back to a point. So this will be the back of the ship with the batteries here. Yeah. Then as we go forward, we'll have the front section. Which doesn't really need to be too big. So, what do I need? So inside, I need some cargo storage so that I can have ammo. I'd like to have a bit of the basic, like a survival kit and a basic interior so that I can be inside, heal myself, be safe. I need to be able to walk around it, which actually may be perfect because if I have the pipes running along the roof, I can walk on the ground. Yeah. So, I'll start shaping it here. No. Got an idea. Okay. So we'll do... Can't recall if I've done this shape before. I'm sure I had. I mean, I guess I sort of have. It's similar to... No, I've not really done it on this base. But essentially what I'm doing, I'm going to make a slightly wider curve by using the 2x1 slopes, and then these little guys, and then another 2x1 slope thick boy up here. So, from the outside, it'll look, it's kind of hard to see in the wireframe, but it'll look like a sweeping curve. That'll give me enough room to walk through. I think I'll do a one line here so I have some easy attachment points. And I can stick my sideways thrust in here. In fact, yeah, I can fit it in perfectly because it's 3 blocks long, so the back will just stick out so it'll be flush. And then... yeah, that should be alright. Uh-oh. That's a problem. The downside of building this thing in the sky. Let's get some more of that. Okay. There we go. Yeah. So that's that. Then I guess I could just... Actually, what will this look like? So if I kind of have this going, that slope will be the same, but then it'll just be flat up here. It might be too wide. That may mean I need to extend this thing a bit. Which shouldn't be too bad. In fact, yeah, let's do that. Because what I can do is extend it out and then fit a large cargo container. Use that as my cargo. How do you turn? There we go. Yeah, I like this.
Energy low.
If it's not one thing, it's another. My word. I guess my lights are on, which I don't need. And my antenna, which I technically don't need, but I'll forget it's off if I turn it off. Okay. So that'll be the length of our hull. Let's go sit in our beach chair, which is now thoroughly in the shade. Let our power come back. So I want to figure out how to do... I think for the front, I'll do sort of a bulb, sort of a dome, sort of the shape of the base here, to an extent. So, how would I, big, please, thank you. So, if I do like that, though, I guess... Yeah, I think that'll do something. I don't know. Let's put our bits here. Yeah, so I can make that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be our front. It's half of it at least. It's not super obvious, the shape, when it's all wireframe. I think I'm decently happy with that. Gives us plenty of room up here. So my idea with this, because it is a ship designed to go into battle, in fact, I may redo the nose to make it heavy armor, but this area up here is just going to be dead space. This is where I want all the fire to come in, so that it doesn't hit any of the important stuff in the back. So, having this long, I don't know if I'll actually double the thickness, because that will add weight beyond... I mean, this thing will already be pretty hefty. In fact, I may... I don't think this will drop it from the sky. If I go ahead and just plan for 2 large atmo thrusters, that's about centered, and still have room up here for a large cargo container in front of them, have some room ahead for the living area and I guess cockpit control area, have the engineering area back here. I could even leave this in position and have the connector come out below it there. Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and, I guess, finish the shape of the frame and then weld it, and then I'll come back. So, yeah, we'll see you then, unless anything more exciting happens. Oh, like that. Come back here. Aw. Okay, be back soon. Uh, oh, I guess I was about to start welding this thing up by hand. That's silly, because I have the blue Buzzy, who I just now realized has to have his light removed. There's nothing else. Yeah, no, those are all mounted to the antenna, so we're good. I hope. Yeah. I don't want to have to set up the controls a third time. Okay. Make it blue, as is the want for the Buzzy. And 4 tubes. I have to go down here. I guess I can also use the turrets if this gets too annoying. But it should be fine. I'm also almost out of hydrogen. My suit didn't say, but I saw the bottle and the bottle's empty. So we'll just go down here. That's incorrect. I just dunk you in. I could throw everything else in there because I don't need it. Yeah. Guess we will. Oh, right, because it's gonna be... It's technically connected, even though it's connected through, like, 3 different layers. Okay. Welder tool. On, unlocked. Buzzy is free. Okay, I'll bring him down, then guess load him up. Maybe we'll bring him... I don't know the best spot because there's not a connector anywhere that's piped. So I guess we'll just set it down here. Then see if I can stuff it full of steel plate. Like so. Hopefully it's not set up to throw all the steel plate out. Because I definitely had a couple instances like that during the teardown where I'd be grinding, look at my inventory and see it was empty, and then realize I'd left a trail of debris behind me. Does make it much easier, though, to grind something down, just empty the cargo. So, would recommend. Okay, that's full of metal. Buzzy should be full of power. And can just take off. That is, I don't have quite enough lift when I'm full of plate, just because plate is so dense compared to most things. Also, I can just barely see the nubs for my welders up there. What do I seem to be doing? Okay, I guess I'll be doing this for a while. Okay. That was a bit of welding. Not 100% done, because these are mostly only full of steel plate, no grids. I guess I should make sure all my thrust is done before I focus too much on that. Because technically, I mean, even without the grids, they are stronger than your average block. The nose took me like 3 trips, whereas the rest of the body took me 3 trips as well. Uh, so it's like one side done, middle done, other side done, and then that exact same time just for the front. But let's go ahead and take probably more steel than that. So let's get our thrusters placed. I guess I should figure out the back too while I'm up here. So, ooh. Now I will need reversing thrust. And again, I don't want to have thrusters sticking out, like sticking off the outside. So maybe what I do, also, I forgot to put these. Those are important. Yeah, there are none up there. Yeah, so you can see, I mean, a good comparison. So this block is heavy armor. It has 150 steel plate. This one has 25. So, if you're familiar with the game, you're probably used to that. Because heavy armor is expensive, but it's a good way to indicate just kind of how much extra this takes. Huh. Yes, I think... I'm debating if I want to do thrust coming out here and here, or up a block here and here. My thought, I kind of wanted to have a turret kind of right out the nose here, so that the very first thing into combat would be something that does damage. So I think we'll put the thrusters down here. So I need thrusters. Yeah. So they'll be sticking out like that. We'll go ahead and maybe 4 on each side for side thrust. We'll dump steel in there for now, because we'll need it. Okay. So... just do these so we have a mounting point for our sideways thrust. That's good. And then it'll be a little tricky to do the back because it's also where we're connected here. In fact, now it'll be less tricky because I'm now connected somewhere else. That'll be more efficient. I was trying to think of like, okay, well I have to plan the back, but I have to work around this weird line that I don't want involved. Or at least not necessarily. So yeah, that should work. So my thought for back here, and we'll do this area in light armor, but my thought is... well, I guess I use these. But I want to just kind of have it come out like a fan, so it won't be curved like the front. It'll just be kind of a straight back section. I think. We'll just kind of... This is the shape I can do, so we'll just kind of do this and see what happens. Okay. Well, this is a shape. Not quite as elongated as I was hoping. But maybe we can work with that. So, these go like that. These will be... pieces like this. And then... oh. So down here, get some of that treatment. So that's the back. Maybe what I do... get rid of those. Rotate this the correct way. Get a sort of clampy bit. Then have 3 forward thrusters out here, sort of like a little tail. Yeah. We could even keep this clamp shape going. So it gives us that sort of stretched out longer tail. Yeah, I like that. Think that'll work out well. Now I have to weld it. Which I guess means more blue buzzy. But... okay, so we've got our lifting thrust there. Uh-oh. Oh, I don't want to be up here. Okay. Best way to fix this. I need to get out of the ship. So, let's do this. Yep. Okay. Now I should be able to hop off. Yes, perfect.
Fuel critical.
I didn't need to worry about the ramp. I probably could have just done that. And I would have been fine. That's dark. Okay. Well, I guess now that I'm down, because I have a ramp. I shouldn't have done the ramp. Ah, then let's hold on. It's not perfect because not everything's welded, but that is a cool looking ship shape up there. It's definitely looking submarine-y. Okay. So, now that we're here, we'll keep Blue Buzzy filled up, and we don't need hydrogen where we're going. Fill him up, weld up the tail, and then probably put at least steel plate in all the thrusters. And then keep designing from there. Okay. So... ooh, one thing I didn't... dang. I forgot I wanted to move this battery, which means I need to clear the area around it. So let's do that now. Now we have a decent sense of where things are. I think I'll put it right there. So to do that, going to want merge blocks. So we'll slap a merge block there. Go ahead and stick one there. Just place that there to clamp those in place so they don't fall out. Take those, a lot of construction components. Alright. Well, these probably need them. Okay. Problem dealt with. So, I need to get rid of this. Ooh, which is hefty. I need to get rid of this thruster and this block. That should give me... oh, and this. That should give me enough room to work. So... need to get some tubes from the base. I guess we could try the Buzzy for just one battery. The merge block. That shouldn't be too horrific. So... yep, okay. Let's bring the Buzzy on up. 6 minutes at full thrust with no weight. So we'll probably want to figure out where to charge this after, but I think we'll be good. Now you need a landing gear. I think I will use a proper landing gear because I want the height clearance. So, yeah. Okay, let's maneuver into position. Okay, locked. So, if I free this battery, let's see. Oh, okay, it's dropping through the floor. That's not good. Oh, I almost have enough. Oh, it's stuck. Oh no! Oh no. Okay. Maybe a little bit more forceful than I intended to be. Right. Okay. Well, so most of the power cells are gone, but not all. I might have some? Not all of it. Huh. Okay, well, let's go ahead, set some more to be produced, and fix the hole we just made. That was dumb. Really probably should have, oh, when I blew up the connector, or the cargo container.
Inventory.
Oh, no. Well, there goes that. Oh, and I damaged this battery. In fact, oh, I destroyed a whole battery. Well, I guess I need to make sure I save this thing now. Because we're now down batteries.
Inventory full.
Oh no. Well, this is a fiasco. I should have just... You know what they always
Inventory
say?
full.
If something's stuck, don't force it, because you'll just break it. I didn't listen. I'm shoveling scrap metal into a turret. Well, at least I don't think we were, well, I don't know. Not fun, but I guess it could have been worse, so. Yeah, I guess I could have severed the whole thing and brought it crashing down onto myself, so. That's a bit of a bonus as I scour the countryside looking for parts. Hmm. Yeah. I'm not seeing anything more, so I guess I got it all. Let's see what we can pull on the thruster. God, that was a bad mistake. That was a big oof. Ah, so much steel. Uh, well, there we go. At least it kept its charge, so
Energy
I was
low.
pretty sure that so long as some of the power cells were intact, it would have the charge it had when it blew up. Okay, so let's do some adjusting here. So take control of Buzzy. I'm going to let that go and I'm going to connect to it from the other side. That way I can slot it in. And in
Energy
fact,
low.
let's... I hope I have enough energy to get this done. I want to align it pretty perfectly. There.
Energy low.
Okay. Okay, so it's holding position. Let's bring it in. Nice and gentle. I don't want it to magnet too hard to itself. Okay. Now, let's get ourselves aligned. Like so. And clunk. Okay. Oof.
Energy low.
Well, that was exciting. Uh, need more steel. I need to have a sit first, though. At least my umbrella protected my chair from any falling explosion debris. Okay. There we go. Full of steel. Okay. Well, despite some struggle, we now have a ship with batteries. And some thrusters scaffolded out. So, I guess we can put some of this stuff in. Gonna need quite a bit to get this finished up. Here, I'm gonna real quick. The miner's pretty versatile. Go ahead and move it off so we can, whoops, so we can charge Buzzy. I can launch from here. It's the power of remote controls. Okay. Bring Buzzy down. Need to grind off his extra leg. And there it is. Okay. Recharging, so we'll be able to use the welder in a bit to weld up some of the big stuff like all the thrusters. I guess we should start laying out some of the other internals now. So, this is too wide. Almost long enough we could put our cargo here, but now that we have so much extra room without batteries. But I don't think that's the best solution. Maybe this will be where the cockpit is, sort of right in front of the engineering area. That might be smart. Because then the whole front is essentially unnecessary. I mean, it's important, but if it gets blown to smithereens, I should be relatively safe and able to beat a hasty retreat. So let's... actually... So I need an interior plate to lay this stuff out. So let's get some of that. Oops, let's hit our microphone, as good professional audio recorders do. Okay. So, I think what we'll do, I can use these, so, yeah, right here. My inventory's full. Right. Do these need more metal? Nope. Okay. Well, that's a pain. So my thought is, maybe I'll just grind it partially to market. So, put a conveyor there,
Inventory full.
and there. Those, I'll have a conveyor that runs outside, and those will be turret mounting points. And they'll also serve to hold the engines in place. Because now, I can get rid of that, and the thrusters don't fall out the bottom. And I may put some other stuff, I may use some passage blocks through here. But, that's that, and then we'll have these two lines that run back here. Maybe meet up in the middle. Like so. Or actually, do I want... I don't know if I want it one back so I can place a rear turret here. I don't really need this thing to be super heavily armed from all angles, because in theory I'm the one doing the attacking, so I get to choose where the enemy is approaching from. Yeah, so maybe we'll just sit it right there. I think that'll be fine. We can then... So maybe here... Yeah, or here. We will
Inventory full.
drop some steel. Let's just put a little bit back. Thank you. Okay. So here we will have a connector that we can use to dock up to wherever we need to dock up to. We'll need to pipe that in. Probably just running pipe like so. And if I do this, yeah, I can use, except I can't use it because there's no conveyor on the back. Dang it. Okay. Well, if I run this the other way, I could put it on top. My thought is a cockpit like this, though it's a little bit silly looking to be inside the ship, it would let me be pressurized without having to pressurize the inside of the ship. Which I think could be handy for something that's going to be being shot and therefore damaged. So, yeah, maybe we will... No, but I want those there because that fell out. Yeah, that's the flat, which is the where I want the turrets to be. I guess I could drop it down here. So I still have the walkways to go up forward. So a little of this action. Then, yeah, I could put wherever the cockpit went. There you are. I can put the cockpit there. I guess I could also use... I could use this upside downy one. Stick it there. You know what? I like that better. We are changing our minds rapidly. Yeah, because then... So I could have 2 conveyors. Yeah, I think that's going to be the best. So I have my 2 conveyors running there. I have this here facing forward, so I could put a little display up here. Maybe of the altimeter, so that I can at least keep it relatively level even while flying from the inside. I like the ability to walk around, so I may leave this section relatively as is. Put some bracing there. Yeah. Oh, and maybe... So, because I'm going to have this sort of flat deck area up here, it might be nice to be able to, like, come up on the deck. So, I need to find a good spot to put stairs. Maybe a ladder. I guess part of it too. Yeah, let's see if I can do this. Hum-ba-dum-bum-bum. So these will be too long, but if I use these, granted they are not see-through, so it kind of creates a weird tunnel for the cockpit. In fact, we're gonna do that. We'll run it like that. We can have our cockpit here. So we can access it from there or from here. Then, no, I guess I should just do... Well, I could put an O2H2 generator here. Though I kind of feel like that's a moot point because the whole purpose of the base we're at is to generate hydrogen and oxygen. Yeah, so we'll just leave that as is so we can access the little door. We can climb up here to this flat bit. And then, if we put those in, I can't place that because I need construction components. So you can see where I'm going. We can have this stairway up here with a door, and that'll be kind of at our... It'll be kind of back for a submarine, but that'll be our conning tower. We'll have the air vents there. And I plan on using the graded catwalk to kind of cover over them, so it looks like an air vent and we won't like fall down into the blades when we walk over them. Yeah, and it can come off the front of that. And then, so up here, so that's the back more or less dealt with. Up here we want our cargo container. And I'm not sure, so if I put it here, I'll need to put a covering over the top of it. Which isn't too bad, but it kind of makes the top weaker. But if I put it on the bottom, I have to do the same thing on the bottom. So the question is, where do I think the ship would be most vulnerable? Actually, no, I do want it on the bottom because if I put this on the bottom, I can have a conveyor port here and a turret on top. And that can be sort of the turret I use as my periscope. That's sort of my idea with this thing. I want a turret kind of near the front on top that I would control and fly from, so that I can be picking off things as I go, and still be kind of in the correct orientation and, would that be, have my eyes the correct way up so that I can fly the ship, essentially. So let's get rid of this. And I think that makes some sense, because I want to be able to land the thing on the ground, so I don't want turrets coming out the bottom. There really aren't enemy threats on the ground that I'd have to worry about. But, well, not but. Yeah, so no enemy threats on the ground, really. All of the enemies are above me, so I just go underneath my target when I attack it. That way I'm protected. Do you take steel? Oh, you do. Not much, though. Let's take interior plate, interior plate. I know what I need. So, I'm gonna need an oxygen tank so that I can breathe. I really wish there was one that was like smaller, because I don't need that much oxygen. What I also will need, or what I want rather.
No energy.
Uh-oh. Okay, I can jet. Let's get to the beach chair. So I guess I'll describe it down here. So I want 2 hydrogen engines on board and some hydrogen tanks so that I can use hydrogen to generate myself electricity on the move. I don't want to have, I guess I could put a reactor on, but I don't want to lose the reactor stuff, because that's more valuable. And, in theory, this whole place is for ice and fuel production, so I might as well have something that uses fuel. So. Yeah, so I think oxygen tank here, and I can get rid of some steel in it. Then, if I do another junction, and where are engines are in here. So if I do another junction, I can have these hugging it like so. You'll be able to see them and repair them from underneath, which will be nice. The only downside is it doesn't really leave a good room for a tank. Unless, no, actually, it's perfect. Because I have those 2 there, I have the conveyor there. Get rid of that. We have a small hydrogen tank there. Perfect. We can... Okay, all these things use steel plate, so I'm not gonna worry too much about grinding things down. That's good. Oh, and I guess, so I was trying to figure out where I should put the med bay. And up here is open, but up here seems like a bad spot to have the med bay. I have this little thing. If, I do need those eventually, so have that back. Take one of these. So, if I put it like this, with the panel facing down, I can just look up, reheal myself, hop back into the cockpit, or hop out, go up. It's a good spot for it. Then up here, I may put some of the decorative stuff. Maybe have like a firewall that just cuts this whole area off flat so that it is protected. Yeah. So. Large that. Ooh, the issue with doing this at this level. So the ports are here, which means to access them, I would have to, if I want to put a pipe in here, I won't be able to walk through here, which just cuts off this whole area. Now, I am debating, because I could do that. You know what? Yeah, let's. Oh, this is gonna suck to do in survival mode. So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to take this entire wall, I'm gonna get rid of these, and I'm just gonna shift this back. We won't worry about any sort of interior living space up here at all. So this thing will be function, and then you just come back to the base to sleep, which I think makes sense. So, and it means that this isn't very useful as a long-term, like, traveling ship. So I now have a reason to pirate a ship. I need a new thing to get me off of Mars, because this will not be leaving. So, Okay. So that's good. Have that there. Go ahead and replace these. Okay. Yeah, so the issue with this...
Fuel
Uh-oh.
low.
We're out of gas again. So if I were in creative mode, I'd just lop the thing off, copy this, and paste it onto here. But I can't do that, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to lift this thing and merge block it. And that was bad, I just fell into the ship again. Okay, let's chuck ourselves out. And last second stop. There we go. You've just got to be strategic with how you use your hydrogen. And I could also use an oxygen refill. Perfect. Yeah, so... what do I... Whoops. That ledge is hard to hit. What do I have that could lift this? Because this is all heavy armor, too. It weighs a ton. I don't know if anything I have right now can lift it. The Buzzy... Well, actually, the Buzzy did okay with that battery, but that battery was a single battery, so I don't think it has the power. The Fighter... maybe, but it only has one lifting thruster. The Miner might be my best bet, though it doesn't really have a good connecting spot. Or... oh, no, here's an idea. Okay. So, normally, the thought would be to use a ship. I can't use a ship, so we're going to use the next best thing, which is pistons. So, let's do that. Actually, the merge block is in with the piston. Okay, so we want a merge block here and here. We're going to get rid of these 3 rows. To do that, I want a block here, piston there, then I'll put 2 blocks here, and I'll put one of the magnetic pads there. So what'll happen, I will extend out this piston. The magnetic pad will lock to that thing, probably. Once it's locked to that, I will get rid of these blocks. That will go into free fall. Or hopefully not free fall, but, you know. It'll be floating. Then I just pull it back until those 2 connect and try to stop the piston in time before it explodes. Easy. So, let's get our parts. Okay. Now, I'm going to test this because I'm not 100% sure. Let's actually do it. Build vision. This may not work. And if it does not work, I will explain why. So let's reach her on out. Again, to avoid clang, I want to stop it as soon as it touches. Okay, it did
Energy
work.
low.
Well, that's neat. So I figured it might not because there tends to be weirdness with connecting things together that are the same grid. So because this is the same grid as the piston, technically, oh no, that's how it works. Is this is technically a subgrid, the piston end. So it's not trying to merge onto itself, basically. But you run into that issue if you're trying to make complex things with rotors and hinges. You can't merge something on either end of the hinge. So, just to make a quick example, I don't have steel. Okay. Well, just envision in your minds. So envision I place this here, or let's say I place it here on this, and then there's a piston part in the little gap. If I then put a merge block on the end of the hinge part, so it would be hinge on a merge block with a merge block coming off of it, the merge block would be a subgrid. If I tried to connect that with this merge block, it would not work because these merge blocks are on the same grid. So you can't have a subgrid. Essentially, you can't have a subgrid that is the main grid. I mean, I was going to ask if that makes sense. It doesn't make sense, and that's the exact issue. So, that's how it goes. But for some reason, this is okay. So, let's go ahead, just so it doesn't sag too much, we'll whack on share inertia tensor. And go ahead and get rid of this row.
Energy critical.
And we'll go sit in our chair first. I feel like I just... Oh, excuse me. I feel like I just sat in the chair. That energy goes quick. Okay. This is the last line. The moment of truth. Let's see if everything explodes. Okay. All's looking good. So now, what we need to do, we'll use build vision again. And it's essentially the same thing in reverse. So, bring her on back. And luckily we are locked to the ground, even though we are technically a free moving... This grid is free moving, but because of the connector we are locked. So hopefully any weird clanginess that comes from the magnetism of these things won't blow everything up. Okay. Okay, we're locked. Well, that was relatively painless. Awesome.
Inventory
Oops.
full.
Let's dump some stuff off again. And those are great ways to get rid of steel. Okay. Perfect. And now, I think I like that. It is a little bit more stubby, but that means it's less wasted space. It's about the length it needs to be. We still have a good bit of room up here. My God, that energy does just drop away. So we have a good bit of room up here, which I could go ahead and put stuff in, but I may just leave it open for now. I do want... Oh, that's going to be... Need to get rid of more steel. Okay. So, whoops, that wasn't what I wanted. So, get rid of this block. I want this to be a turret as well. Oh, and I am debating. So one fun thing I thought about was having a turret on a piston that I could extend out so that I could, like, basically poke my turret into the enemy gun range with it being the only thing there. I don't know if that's useful at all. Like, it would... I don't see why I need the piston, other than just the fun factor. I'm really debating doing it. I feel like it would make more sense if the piston... if it, like, pulled it all the way back in. But because of the size of a turret, that wouldn't be something doable. Uh... Yeah, so it'd be there. Then where there's a turret. I'd have a turret on there like that. And if the, if I go into battle mode, my turret extends. Maybe, you know, maybe that is debated. That's questionable from a moral standpoint. I don't need to be extending my piston at my enemies, so we'll just have this be a normal conveyor. I do have a... well, I'm out of interior plate. I do have a fun idea of how to add some utility to this thing. Give it a reason to have so much lifting thrust for a relatively small ship. And it will involve pistons and subgrid danger. What? I don't know what I just put into my inventory. I have a funny feeling it isn't this. It adds some of this, though. Yeah, so we'll put that there. That there, and then... just as an extra wall so that... because bullets will probably make their way through some of this front armor. This will protect the cargo container with just an added extra line of defense. So... oops. Alright, back to the chair. Oh, I missed. Okay. Well, I think I was hoping to have this wrapped up, but looking at my recording length, I think this will be a long episode again. So I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. We've got a ship designed. Hopefully next week we will have it finished and be able to take it out on a test flight. So yeah, you super gremlins aren't going to be the bane of the skies for long. I've got a whatever this thing's going to be called. So yeah, there is that to look forward to. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. So until then, bye-bye!